basically do is I'll just quickly take you guys through a small little presentation that we've prepared. It's just a basic introduction. You've already seen all these details on the email we had sent across, but we'll just give you a refresher of sorts. We'll just take you through all the details once, and we'll quickly cover what the itinerary is like, what are the clothing pieces that you need to carry for the trek, what is the camping going to look like. We'll share some pictures as well. And then we'll quickly open it up for questions because this call is more for you guys to, ask us your queries in case there's anything that you're confused about, unsure about. So this is majorly for that. Of course, we have a WhatsApp group. Even if, this call is over and you have some more questions, you can always put it up on the group and we'll be more than happy to answer that. But this is just an opportunity for us also to be able to meet you virtually once before we actually meet on the trek. So I'll quickly share my screen and I'll just take you through a small little presentation. And after that, we'll open it up for questions for you guys. Yeah. So just let me know if you're able to see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, now we can.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so as you know, we're going to be doing this trek, which is known as the Baleni Glacier Trek, the trek in Himachal. It's one of the prettiest treks that I have also personally done in Himachal, and it's one of the best treks that you can do as a family with your kids as well. So to give you a little brief about the trek, as you all know, we will be meeting you guys in Dharamshala, and we'll finish in Dharamshala as well. So this is going to be a total duration of 6 days where we'll be doing checking for four days and the remaining 2 days are for your arrival and departure. It's going to be a combination of hotel and camping. So when we're in Dharamshala, we'll be staying in hotels. And when we start off the trek, we're going to be staying in tents, which is basically how camping is done. The maximum altitude that you'll be touching over here would be roughly 2,900 meters, which is the day when we go to the glacier and we come back. So this is a small little map. Right now, of course, all these names are just names for you because you don't really know the place, but I'll quickly take you through this when we describe the itinerary. So what really basically happens is on the 26th, when we meet you guys, we'll be meeting you in Dharamshala. We'll if you guys are coming to the airport, we'll organize group pickups for you at the airport. We take you to the hotel where we'll be staying overnight. And in the evening, I'll be meeting you guys on the 26th, and we'll do a complete team briefing about what the next day is going to look like, what time we wake up, what time we'll have breakfast, how we're going to drive, what are the things that you need to carry, etc. So we'll do a proper briefing before we head for the next day to the mountains. So this is going to be our very first day, which is day 2. It's going to be our first day of the trek. It's going to be on 27th of May. The drive from Dharamshala to a place called Salli. It's a very short drive. It's just 2.5 hours. And most of the drive is through straight roads. Just the remaining bit of the drive, I would say that maybe 45 minutes to an hour is slightly windy. So if you are motion sick, just make sure that you have motion sickness medicine handy with you, a water bottle handy with you. When we reach the place called Salli, this is the place where we're going to be starting our trek from. And we go to our very first campsite, which is around 4 to 5 hours. Which is around, maybe not 4 to 5 hours, but I would say 2 to 3 hours. And we'll take breaks in between. And of course, we'll also have lunch on the way before we head to the campsite. So we'll try to target leaving from the hotel by around 9:30 in the morning. And what we'll basically do is we will tell you what exactly you need to keep in your small bag. If you can see the picture on the right side, there are children who have small shoulder bags on their back. So this is the bag that you'll be carrying with you when you're on the trek. So this will just have your water bottle, maybe some chocolates or snacks that you want to carry, and maybe sunglasses, a cap, etc. And the remaining stuff will be carried by our team, which will be going with our team ahead on the mules and the porters. So that is how pretty much every single day you will have 2 separate bags. One will be a small bag that you carry on your shoulder when you're trekking, and the other will be what our team carries. The next day, we move on to our next campsite, which is going to be this place called Dhalet. So again, we'll be hiking for around 3 to 4 hours. This will depend on the pace of the group, of course. But the idea also is that we don't we don't really need to rush and reach a campsite because we have the entire morning and afternoon to do that. So we, have snacks in between or lunch in between. We'll explore the places around. Then there may be streams around, so we can actually go soak our legs in it, take a dip around. So the idea is to make sure that we make a day out of it. Usually we start the day, you have a wake up call at around 6 o'clock. By 7, we'll probably be having breakfast. And by 7:45 to 8 in the morning, we target leaving for our next campsite. So once we leave the campsite, the team starts wrapping everything up. And then when we head out, they also head out so that they can set up the campsite at the next spot. So this is going to be the day when we go from Chandrela to Thaler. The next day, we're going to be going to a glacier at the top. So on this day, we don't really change our campsite. We go to the glacier and then we come back to the same campsite for a second night. So when we go to the glacier, we go up. We will be spending at least an hour at the glacier. Of course, it depends on, the weather as well. If it's sunny, windy, cold, and how the group is doing as well. So if you want to stay back, for an hour, half an hour, 45 minutes, that's also completely fine, depending on what time do we reach. So we'll be spending some time clicking pictures, enjoying the snow and everything at the glacier, and then we come back down again and we reach our Daler campsite again. Post this, which will be the last day of our trek on day 5, we start off from Dhaler and then we come all the way back. We surpass the first campsite at Chandrela that we had crossed on day 1. So we surpass that. We take a small break when we reach closer to Chandrela, and then we come all the way back down to Sully again, which is going to be the roadhead. So this is the same place where the vehicle would have dropped us on day 1 when we started the trek. We reach the same place. And then we drive back to the hotel in Dharamshala, which will again roughly take us around 2.5 hours, depending on traffic, because it will be probably afternoon by the time we come back. So there may be some traffic when we hit the city. And then, of course, we'll be spending one night at the Dharamshala hotel again. And the next day will be the day when we all fly out. So this is a quick glimpse on what the campsites look like. If you can see the picture at the bottom over here, you can see the blue tents over here. These are the sleeping tents that you have. So these are the tents in which 2 people basically be sharing one tent, and these are the places where we sleep. And if you can see a yellow tent, and there's one more tent, a whitish tent at the back. So the yellow tent is the dining tent. So this is the place where, you'll be having your meals, your breakfast, your dinner. And there'll be a table, there'll be chairs that we'll be setting up so that you can have comfortable meals over there. And over there, the back, that the white tent that you see, this is a kitchen tent. So all our meals, all our ration is over there. So the cooks and our kitchen staff, they make all the meals over there. And that is how we are able to serve you hot breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. These are some more pictures. If you can see the top picture, this is one of the streams that you cross on day 1 and day 2, and we'll actually be able to stop here. If you can look closely, there are people who've actually removed their shoes at the back and they're soaking their legs and sitting. So we will have time to do all of that on the trek. The water feels amazing, especially when the sun is out. The bottom picture is what the campsites look like at night. You'll be actually be able to see a lot of stars at night as well if the weather is clear. And we will be able to do and set up a bonfire for you guys as well. This is what the inside of the tents look like. You can see these 3 little cute children who were part of the batch that we just done I think this was in March. And we'll be setting up your tents as well. So by the time you come back from the hike and you come back to your campsite, your tent and everything will be all set so that you can put your bags in, change your clothes and be able to rest for the day. These are some more views from the trek. Over here again, you can see the campsite, the bonfire, some flora, fauna around. Of course, you can see another small stream to the top left bottom. And here you can see the morning sunrise, which is at one of the campsites. This is actually the Dhalayad campsite that we have, which is on day 2 and day 3. Some more pictures again. Over here, you can see we are engaging the kids in some kind of fun activities. If we have a lot more kids with us, then of course, the idea is to try and make sure that they are also engaged so the parents also get a break. So we will try engaging them in as many fun activities as we can so that the parents also get some time off as well. So coming to one of the most important aspects of trekking, this is one thing that can make or break the experience that you're having in the mountains because this becomes very important. The layers that you're wearing, the clothes that you carry when you're in the mountains, especially because you're going to be sleeping in tents and it's, probably the first time a lot of you are going to be experiencing it as well. So a few things which are a complete non-negotiable. You should have a pair of thermals, one top and one bottom. T-shirts would be the regular t-shirts that you'll be walking in. So this can either be a full sleeves or a half sleeve, whatever you're comfortable with. You can choose a cotton or a dry fit depending on your comfort. You should have one fleece jacket at least per person. So this is something that you would wear usually. Sorry, somebody was saying something. Is it? Okay, so the fleece is something that you'll be carrying with you in your day bag in case while walking, if it so happens that, suddenly it's become cold, the, wind has picked up or something. So in that case, if it's a little cold and you're not comfortable wearing just your t-shirt, then you should ideally have your fleece jacket with you. The down jacket is something that you'll be needing only for the campsite. So basically, when you finish your day's trek and you come back, we highly recommend that you completely change your clothes. So wear a fresh pair of t-shirt and pant and make sure that you're wearing your thermals inside. And then you layer it with the last layer, which is going to be your down jacket. So this is going to be very important so that once the sun sets, when the temperatures go down considerably, you should be able to keep yourself warm. The waterproof or the wind cheater jacket is something that you use when either it's very, very windy or because, as the name suggests, it's a waterproof jacket in case it starts drizzling. So you put on this particular layer at number 5. The bottom layer is pretty much self-explanatory. A woolen cap is something that you should definitely have. Like I said, post sunset, it's going to get cold. So it's important that you keep your ears covered. Puff or a neck tube is also very ideal in the mountains. This is something that a lot of bikers also wear. I don't know if you've seen it, but this is something that's really, really crucial because you have to try and make sure that you're protecting your throat. It's one of the easiest things to catch a cold and cough in the mountains. So if you keep this particular item handy, it's going to come in really, really important. You should ideally have two kinds of gloves. One could be a fleece, which is an inner layer. And in case, you plan to throw snowballs at your friends and you plan to probably be able to make a snowman or something at the glacier, then in that case, an insulated glove should be important because this fleece glove is going to get wet. But this insulated glove is going to be a waterproof layer on the outside. So this is something that will come in handy. There are two types of socks that you will carry. One would be a normal cotton socks that you usually wear. That is something that you wear during the day when you're trekking. And you keep one pair of woolen socks at least, so that is something that you can wear at night while you sleep. These are some of the accessories that you should have. Most of it is self-explanatory, like a water bottle is mandatory. Everyone should have at least, if not two, at least one liter of bottle. And maybe within a family, you can carry one extra thermos, a 1 liter thermos just for hot water. A head torch would be very, very crucial, not because we're trekking in the night, but because at the campsite, there's no electricity. So because you're in the middle of the wilderness, when you're going from the kitchen to the tent to the toilet, it's necessary that you have either a regular torch or a head torch, but you need to have at least one torch with you and carry some extra batteries because, if it's cold, the batteries, dry out very soon. So just for that, make sure that you have maybe one or two extra batteries. This small bag is going to be your bag that you will be carrying, which is a small bag which will have your water, snacks, a thin jacket, a poncho, etc. Trekking poles are not mandatory, but we do highly recommend it. You don't need two poles, but we do recommend you should have at least one pole per person. You should be carrying a lunchbox. This is because usually sometimes what happens is if we are anticipating, depending on the pace of the group, that we may reach a campsite late, and we would like to pack something for you and give it to you so that you can have something before you reach a campsite. In this case, a lunchbox will be ideal to have because the idea also is that we don't want to unnecessarily create any plastic waste on the trails. So we avoid, packing food in the polythenes or plastic bags or the plastic dabbas that we get. So ideally, a one medium size different box. You can carry a steel box or a Tupperware box or something. That's also fine. But just one small medium size box for per person should be okay. This over here, the yellow bag is the duffel. So either it can be a duffel or a rucksack, whichever ones you have. This is something that the team will carry, and this will have your clothes and accessories, whatever you need throughout the 4 days of checking. Our team will be carrying a medical kit as well, but in case there are any personal medications that you are taking currently or something that really works for you or suits you well, it's ideal to have a small medical kit with you. Sunblock, sun protection definitely needed. Knee guard, for the children, it's not needed, but for the adults, we highly recommend you should have a knee guard because on the way back, the last day when you're coming all the way down to Sully, because there's a lot of walking downward and there are smaller stones on the trail as well. So a knee guard will come in handy to protect your knees and it will take some pressure off. And personal toiletries, of course, make sure that you have your toothbrush, toothpaste, a soap if you need, a hand towel. Also, do carry at least one toilet paper roll. So at campsites, we always have toilet paper, but in case you need to, use the loo in between, there's no toilets facility from one campsite to the other in between on the trail. So ideally, you should have one toilet paper roll with you, which of course not per person, but you can just have one so that you can share it within as a family. So this is a quick, overall introduction that I wanted to give you about the trek. I'll open it up to questions now. The call is completely yours. Please feel free to ask us anything that you may have concerns about, any questions that have gone unanswered. Hi, Shafali ma'am. I hope you were able to listen to most of the call.
Yes, thank you so much. I was a little late. I'd
No problem,
actually
ma'am.
signed up for the previous trek,
Yes,
um,
right,
right? So I'd joined in for that one. Somewhat
right,
similar. What I was
right.
curious to know would be what's the weather that we could expect there at this point, at this time of the year?
Right. So, ma'am, honestly, May is pretty much one of the most, it's peak season time for, to be able to do Baleni Glacier Trek. You are expecting pleasant weather. Of course, the weather has been a little different this year because in most of the treks, we've experienced 1 or 2 days of sun and then 1 or 2 days of slightly cloudy weather. So, what we've been doing is, we've been checking the weather almost every single day just to see if, we are expecting any showers, etc. And closer to the date of the check. So right now we are on the 9th of May. Around 15th to 16th of May, again, we will start monitoring the weather on a daily basis. But overall, you will be experiencing pleasant weather on this check. Of course, the evenings do get cold. So post sunset, the temperatures will drop down to single digits and hence the layers do become very, very thin. Very, very important. So closer to the date of the trek, we will monitor the weather again. In case there are any expected showers or change overall, we'll definitely update you about that on the group.
Got it. Thank you so much.
No problem. Okay, any other questions?
Acha, Lavina, we
Yes,
already
ma'am.
made the already we have done made a request regarding Jain food that is
Yes, ma'am.
without onion, garlic, and potato, and
Right, ma'am.
no spicy, very
Yes,
low
ma'am.
spicy, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So usually, food at the campsite is usually made with lesser spice because, again, because there are kids also in the group, kids usually have a slightly lower capacity to tolerate spice. So either way, we make slightly lesser spicy food. And of course, in case somebody wants spicy food, we can always separate the things. We can basically separate the sabzi or the dal out and, add some more spices for those who want it. Even for the Jain food, it will not be a problem at all. Without onion, garlic, and potato, it's completely manageable. So it won't be an issue at all. So usually what also happens is the menu has a slightly little more variety as well. So every single day, whenever the cooks are preparing their menu, I will also personally talk to them about what they are, making. And accordingly, I'll inform them about what you cannot eat as well. So it won't be a problem.
And what
Um,
about the facility of drinking water during trek time? Two-bottle is enough during a 4 to 5 hours period?
So, ma'am, usually what happens is whenever we step out, we will brief you about the trail as well. So there are some spots where we can fill drinking water as well. So we usually fill, the glacier water from the stream. And I'll be carrying purification drops with me. So instead of consuming the glacier water directly, we add purification drops to that. And then you just let it rest in the water for 10-15 minutes, and then you can consume it. And for the campsite, we will be having filtered and basically boiling water is there. So there will be hot water to consume, which will be boiled and kept in a container. So that is something that you can consume at the campsite as well. Which is why I mentioned that in case, between one family, if you can carry 1 liter thermos with you, then at night, if you need hot water and you don't want to step out of the tent, then you can fill your thermos with the hot water so that, in case you need it through the night, you will have access to hot water as well.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Anything else? Any other questions?
No, all's clear.
Wow, no questions, only 2 questions, is it? Did I explain it that well, guys?
Yes.
Okay, just a few tips from our side as well. Usually when you pack your small bag as well as your main bag, which goes with the team, I personally highly recommend that you should always, basically, if you are packing 3 t-shirts or 4 pants, just put them in a plastic and then pack it in the bag. So what usually happens is in case there's any chance of a drizzle, at least your, clothes are protected. And you do the same thing with your day pack as well. If you're carrying a small jacket, a poncho you don't need to really protect because it's supposed to be getting wet. But a small jacket, if you're carrying like a fleece jacket, just make sure that you are putting it in a smaller bag and then putting it in your bag. So the same thing if you're carrying a power bank, which will be very, very important because like I said, there's no electricity on the trek. So you need a power bank for your phone. Make sure that you're, wrapping the power bank either in your down jacket, just put it inside your down jacket, maybe in a zipper or something, because again, these are batteries that will, discharge very quickly in the cold. So if you put it in your down jacket, then it will be warm enough and it won't get discharged quickly. So these are small tips and tricks that you can use to make sure that even though you're packing light, but you have sufficient things and you're protecting everything that you are putting inside your bag. Okay, any other questions? Anything about the clothing part of it? Anything about the food aspect? Just a quick question from my side. Are there any allergies, any food allergies that we should be aware of? You can probably just drop a message on the group in case you're allergic to something. We can always make sure that there's an alternative available for you to eat. Okay, with it, so no questions for you?
No questions from my side. All's clear.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, perfect, guys. So if there are no questions, I think we can officially end the call as well. What I'll do is I'll share the presentation with you guys in the group, the one I just shared on my screen. You can quickly take a glance of that as well. I'll share the recording of the call too. If you have any questions, again, like I said, the WhatsApp group is for you guys. So if there are any questions that come up even at a later stage, please do let us know and we'll be happy to answer those. Yeah. Okay. So like I said, there's one more family who might be joining you guys. Right now, I think we have 4 families who are with us on board, and there is one more potential family also who will probably be joining you guys. So in case they confirm, we will let you know as well. And I will personally also make sure that I introduce you guys to them as well, so that you're also aware of who all are joining with you on the trek. And yes, I think we'll officially say goodbye on this call.
Lavina,
And yes, ma'am.
just a quick one, Lavina. You mentioned there are 4 of us, 4 families so far. Any kids that you're aware of?
Yes, ma'am. Viditsa also
Hmm.
has.
Yeah,
Viditsa, would
I
you
have
like
an
to
8-year-old
introduce?
son.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. Good to know
Neva,
that.
ma'am?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, hi. So me and my 8-year-old son will be will be coming on this trek. We've done a few treks
Right.
before, and
Mm-hmm.
mm, so my son handles treks quite well, and
That's
that's why we thought
amazing.
of coming for this one too.
Right, right. That's amazing.
Mhm.
So,
And
can you tell me what are the
we
treks that he's done?
he's done Naktiba.
Oh, nice.
He's done he's in he's done a trek in um, ahead of GB with the Great Himalayan National Park
Ah, okay.
uh,
Nice.
to the base, and he's done Pence Tiger Reserve.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
That's
lovely.
amazing.
Mhm.
Beautiful. That's amazing. Niva ma'am,
Sounds
would you
great.
like to
Good to meet
also
you again.
introduce your little one to us? Niva ma'am, can you hear us?
Yeah. Yeah, myself, Dr. Neepa Mehta, and my husband, Dr. Bhavesh Mehta. We are coming first time for the trek. So this is our
Yeah.
first experience.
Oh, that's amazing.
And we are from Jamnagar, Gujarat.
Okay. Right. And ma'am, have you heard this trek in particular from someone? That's why you wanted to join this trek, or was it just something that you just wanted to do because you were feeling adventurous?
I
Did somebody specifically tell you about this particular trek, which is why you decided to join this?
yeah. One of our cousins, Deepa and Nishit bhai, जो
Ah,
आपके
yes, yes.
साथ बहुत सारे ट्रैक करते हैं
Right, right, right,
बेस
right.
एवरेस्ट बेस कैंप भी वो उन्होंने
Correct,
किया है तो
correct, correct.
हम लोग जब बात कर रहे थे तो और फिर उमंग भाई यस उमंग भाई
Right,
फ्रॉम एडवेंचर पास हाँ
right, right, right.
उन्होंने हमको ये सजेस्ट किया कि ये बिगनर्स के लिए ये बहुत अच्छा रहेगा आप लोगों के लिए
Correct, correct.
तो हाँ तो हमने फिर ये डिसाइड किया
Awesome. That's good to know, ma'am. No, honestly, this is actually one of the best treks you can do as a family, as a beginner, because in fact, in Gujarat itself, there's a school called Cygnus World School. We've taken a lot of kids from that school also on this trek. So yeah, so this is actually a really good trek, especially if you have kids with you or you've never been to the mountains before. It's amazing. I'm really sure that you're going to be loving this trek. The trail is beautiful, the views are beautiful, and at no point of time do you feel like, oh my God, abhi kitna chalna baki hai, because that's usually the thought most people have on a trek. But on this trek, you won't have that feeling. We'll take
हाँ
enough breaks, we'll take enough picture breaks, tea breaks in between. So yeah, you should be able to enjoy this trek. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Sounds good. And just from
Okay.
my side as well, so we'll be joining along with, so my husband and I will be joining with our 10-year-old daughter. It's
Oh,
essentially, this is something that we wanted to make sure that we do more formally with her. All the
right,
terrains that Vidya just mentioned about, those have been ones that we have explored, but more like a day trek, and you just go wandering
right,
off yourself, both Naktiba as well as the one in GB.
right,
But
right.
this is the one where we're talking about more formal, just living the life, getting away from the devices. So that's what's got us
Yeah,
interested on this one for sure.
yeah,
We're
yeah, yeah.
looking forward
That's
to it.
true. So she's not done camping before, I'm guessing.
No, she hasn't.
Okay, understood. That is something, honestly, I think for her, for most kids, camping in the wilderness becomes a very exciting part of it. Because they've never slept in a tent
Absolutely.
before. So yeah. So yeah, definitely. I'm so glad. Honestly, when we hear about parent stories like this, we feel really jealous because when we were kids, we didn't have all this. So it's good to see that, nowadays everybody is really, really keen on making sure they explore and they make sure that they help their kids explore the wilderness too. And yes, like I
Indeed,
said,
indeed.
there will be no electricity. So yeah, she'll be quite away from her devices.
One question which I'm actually asking more on her behalf, which is something that she asked me, would be
Yeah.
what would the washroom scenario be like? Because you can imagine something top of her mind for sure. So if you could tell me a little more about that.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's actually an excellent question. I'm surprised it didn't come up in the call actually. So on the campsite, we have two different types of washrooms. One is a regular pitflu. Basically, what we do is there's a toilet tent which has a zipper. So you open the zipper. there's a pit that is dug in the ground, and there's a seat that is also available because, of course, we don't want you to squat and all of that. So there's a seat that is like an ortho
Mhm.
seat that we call it. And you basically do your job, and there is a khurpi that is there, there is mud that has been dug out. So you just have to cover the, uh, basically you just cover everything that you've done
Got it.
with the mud itself on the side, and there's a place where you can put the toilet paper and all that in as well. The other kind of toilet that we also have is similar to what you have in an airplane. It's a small cabin, it's a small little cubicle of sorts, and you have a proper commode where you actually are able to, finish your job. And this is the one that has a flush with it. So you actually flush it out with, there's a button, there's a spring over there. So you just press the spring and you flushes it out. So in both of them, of course, you should not be putting toilet paper inside it. The toilet paper will go into the dustbin, which will be available outside the bathroom as well. But depending on what your preference is, if you prefer the Pitlu, you can use the Pitlu. If you prefer the bio toilet, which is flushable, you can use the bio toilet as well, whatever is your preference. But we'll have both of these at the campsite.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, we have 2 more minutes to go on the call. Any other questions, guys? Okay, I
Anyone
think we're
traveling
good.
from Gurgaon? More out of my own curiosity. Anyone traveling from Gurgaon?
I don't think
Okay.
so. Yeah.
No worries.
I'll check with the
Thank-
other family who's coming. I'll check with them where they're traveling from.
Thank you so much, Lavina.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Please post your questions in the group if there are any left. And I'm looking forward to meeting you guys on the 26th. Thank you so much for joining on a Saturday.
Sounds good. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.